Hello children, how are you all? Hope you are fine and good. I am your teacher Dakshayani, handling biology from Bharadasar Metric Higher Secondary School, Arakonam. Children, today we are going to see 10th standard biology chapter 16, plant and animal hormones. In the previous session, we have discussed about the plant hormones. Can you say what are all the plant hormones, children? Yes, very good. First, in the plant hormones, we discussed about the auxins. The first hormone is auxin, and we have discussed what are all the physiological effects of auxin. Next, we discussed about the cytokinin, which is responsible for cell division. Cytokinin. Next, we studied about the gibberellins. Next, we discussed about the another hormone, that is abscisic acid. And finally, we discussed about the ethylene, a gaseous plant hormone which is responsible for ripening of the fruits. These are all the topics we discussed in the previous session. And in this session, we are going to study about the animal hormones, especially what are all the hormones present in the secreted in the human beings. So, first we are going to see human endocrine glands. Humans, we possess two types of glands, right? One is a exocrine, and another one is a endocrine glands. What is the main difference between these two glands, children? Exocrine, they possess the ducts. And the ducts carry the secretions of exocrine glands and to the target organs. The best, what are all the examples of exocrine? What are the types of exocrine glands in the sense? Salivary glands. Next one is the mammary glands. Next one is the sweat glands. Yes, these three glands are the exocrine glands present in the human body. For example, you take children salivary glands, they produce a saliva. The saliva is collected by the, for example, near the cheek, we have the parotid gland, right? It opens into a duct and the duct opens into the mouth. So, the secretions are collected by the ducts. So, such type of glands we say it as exocrine glands. The another important gland is the endocrine glands. What you look into this picture, children, there is no duct because the endocrine gland, this is endocrine gland and it is surrounded by the blood capillaries, right? And this endocrine gland secretes the hormone which directly diffuses into the blood circulation and reaches the target organs. Here they do not have any ducts. Hence, the endocrine glands we can also called as ductless glands. They do not have ducts, hence they are called as ductless glands. And next, the hormones are secreted in very minute quantities, right? So, now let us see what are all the types of endocrine glands present in the human body. So, first endocrine glands of the human, just look into this picture, children. It is a human body and various endocrine glands are located. First, in the head region, there are two major endocrine glands. One is a pineal gland. What is the main function of the pineal gland? In the sense, it secretes melatonin. It is secreted especially at the night time, right? And when we get disturbed in the sleep or when the light flashes on your eyes at the night time, this secretion of melatonin gets reduced. Next, we are going to study one important gland, that is pituitary, which is located at the base of the midbrain. So, pituitary. So, what is the first gland, children? First we discussed about the pineal gland. Next we discussed about the pituitary. Next, in the neck region there are two glands. One is a thyroid, and inside the thyroid parathyroid glands are present. So thyroid, which is responsible for thyroxine secretion, thyroid and parathyroid glands are present. Parathyroid. Next, in the chest region above the heart, thymus. What is this gland, children? Thymus is present. Thymus. Next, in the abdomen region, pancreas. Right? What is this, children? It is a pancreas. It's responsible for insulin secretion. And adrenal, this is a kidney, and above the kidney what is located? Adrenal. So adrenal gland, it is also, you all know about adrenaline, right? Emergency hormone is secreted by this gland. Next, in the males, testes. In the males, testes, which is responsible for the secretion of testosterone, and in the female, ovaries, which is responsible for secreting estrogen, progesterone, hormones, etc. Right? So these are all the endocrine glands present in human. We shall say it again, children. First one, pineal gland. In the head, what are the two glands? Pineal gland and pituitary. Next, in the chest region, thyroid, parathyroid, then thymus. In the abdomen region, pancreas, adrenal. Next, in the pelvic region, in males, testis is present, and in the female, ovaries are present. So now first we are going to discuss about the pituitary, right? Pituitary, it is located at the base of midbrain. This is a midbrain, and it is located at the base of the midbrain. And the study of this endocrine glands, we say it as endocrinology. And who is the father of endocrinology? Thomas Addison, right? And there are two more persons, children, named Baylis and Starling. These two persons coined the term hormone. So who is the father of endocrinology? Thomas Addison. And now we are discussing about the pituitary, right? So pituitary, it is located at the base of the midbrain, and it is connected to the hypothalamus. This is a hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, which controls the pituitary, and this is a pituitary, children. This is a pituitary, and this is a hypothalamus. And the pituitary is connected to the hypothalamus by means of a stalk called pituitary stalk, or we call it as infundibulum. What we say? Infundibulum. Stalk. It is the stalk which connects the pituitary and the hypothalamus. And this pituitary has two lobes, right? And two lobes are different in their function. So the anterior lobe, this is the anterior lobe, and the anterior lobe is also called as adenohypophysis. The other name of pituitary is hypophysis. Hypophysis. So the anterior pituitary is called as adenohypophysis. Adenohypophysis. And then the posterior lobe of the pituitary, we call it as neurohypophysis. These two lobes are different in their function. They secrete different hormones and perform different functions. So this pituitary, it controls all the secretions of other glands. Hence this pituitary is called as master gland. Here they will ask one question for you, children. Why pituitary is called as a master gland? Because pituitary controls the secretion of other endocrine glands. Hence the pituitary is called as a master gland. Master gland. Right. Now we are going to see what are all the hormones secreted by anterior pituitary and what are all the hormones secreted by posterior pituitary. Hormones of anterior pituitary, children. What is the other name of anterior pituitary? Adenohypophysis. There are 6 hormones. First one is GH or STH or somatotropin. What is the abbreviation for GH? As a growth hormone. Growth hormone, or it is also known as a somatotrophic hormone or somatotropin. Next one, the next hormone is TSH. What is TSH? Thyroid stimulating hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone. ACTH. What is ACTH? Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Next one is FSH. What is FSH? Follicle stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone. LH or LCSH. LH is luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone. Luteinizing hormone. And next LTH, that is luteotrophic hormone or prolactin. So these 6 hormones are the hormones of anterior pituitary, that is adenohypophysis. Next one, the hormones of posterior pituitary, that is neurohypophysis is 2. One is vasopressin and another one is oxytocin. Vasopressin is also known as ADH. The abbreviation of ADH is anti-diuretic hormone. Anti-diuretic hormone. It prevents the excess secretion of urine. So these are all the hormones of pituitary. So now let us discuss the functions of one by one. So first we are going to discuss about the hormones of anterior pituitary. In that the first hormone is growth hormone. And what is the main function of the growth hormone is that it is responsible for the development of tissues. For example, it is responsible for the development of bones, muscles and cartilage. And it is responsible for the height of a person. And what happens if this hormone is deficient? Right? In the children, just look into this picture, children. In children, if the hormone is decreased, if there is a decreased secretion of growth hormone, it results in dwarfism. Dwarfism, what mean by dwarf, children? Dwarf means kullam, right? So, dwarfism, just look into this person, children. He is affected by dwarfism. It is due to the less secretion of growth hormone. And some symptoms of this, that stunted growth will be arrested, stunted growth and mental disability. So this is due to the decreased secretion of growth hormone in children. What happens if the growth hormone is secreted in excess? If the growth hormone is secreted in excess, it leads to the development of or the overgrowth of bones in the human body, and it results in the disorder called gigantism. Gigantism, just look into this picture, children. A man is very tall, right? So the symptoms of this gigantism is that overgrowth in height. So extreme increase in the height of an individual is the symptoms for this disease. So what are the two disorders, children? In children, if the hormone is less, dwarfism. If the hormone is secreted more, gigantism. What happens if the growth hormone is secreted more in adults? After they reach the adult stage, if the hormone is secreted more, it results in the disorder called acromegaly. What is acromegaly? It leads to the excess growth of face, bones, hands and the feet. Just look into this person, children. The growth of the jaws is more when compared to a normal person. So, this acromegaly which is caused due to the excess secretion in adults. So, next we are going to see about the thyroid stimulating hormone TSH, right. So, this hormone stimulates the thyroid. So, for example, this thyroid pituitary gland stimulates the thyroid by secreting this thyroid stimulating hormone, which in further stimulates the thyroid to produce the thyroxine. Thyroid gland is responsible for secretion of thyroxine. So, pituitary secretes, it stimulates the thyroid to secretes its hormones such as it secretes T3, T4, there are varieties of hormones are there. This pituitary, by secreting the TSH, it stimulates the thyroid. So, this is the function of thyroid stimulating hormone. Next, we are going to discuss about the adrenocorticotropic hormone, and it is also secreted by the anterior pituitary, which in turn influence the adrenal cortex. In the above the kidney, what is located, children? Adrenal gland is located above the kidney, and this adrenal is divisible into adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. So, this ACTH stimulates the adrenal cortex to produce the adrenal cortex hormone. Adrenal cortex secretes different hormones and adrenal medulla secretes different hormones, right. For example, adrenal cortex secretes aldosterone, this we will study later. Adrenal medulla secretes adrenaline. So, pituitary secretes the adrenocorticotropic hormone to stimulate the adrenal cortex to secrete its hormones, right. So, this is the function of the adrenocorticotropic hormone. Next, we are going to discuss about the gonadotrophic hormones. What is the gonadotrophic, children? The gonadotrophic hormones influences the reproductive system of the humans, right. For example, pituitary, when the hypothalamus secretes the growth hormone releasing hormone, pituitary secretes the gonadotrophic hormones such as FSH and LH. What is FSH? Follicle stimulating hormone. LH is luteinizing hormone. This FSH influences both males and females. Likewise, this LH also stimulates both the females and the males and responsible for certain functions. So, now let us see the functions of FSH and LH, that is the gonadotrophins. First, we are going to see the functions of this FSH, right. FSH, that is a follicle stimulating hormone in male. In male, it stimulates the secretion of sperms. It stimulates the secretion of sperms, right. And what is the effect of FSH in the female? Likewise, in the female, the FSH helps in the development of the follicles. And what happens? The follicle starts to grow, primary, secondary, tertiary, like that the follicle starts to develop around the oocyte. So, that is aided by this follicle stimulating hormone. Hence, it stimulates the follicle, it is said to be follicle stimulating hormone. So, in males, production of sperms. In females, stimulation of the developing follicles. And now we are going to see the function of this LH. The LH is secreted by the pituitary. LH stimulates the males. In the males, it is responsible for stimulating the Leydig cells. Leydig cell, which is responsible for the secretion of testosterone. Testosterone, it is a male hormone. It is secreted by the testes by the influence of this LH, which in turn influences the production of sperms. If only testosterone is there, sperms will be produced, right. Next one, what is the function of this LH in the females? In the females, this LH stimulates the ovaries to produce the ovarian hormones such as estrogen and progesterone, right? And also it stimulates the ovulation. What is ovulation, children? When the follicle starts to develop, after the follicles get matured, it ruptures and releases the egg. The process of release of the egg, we say it as ovulation, and it is also responsible for forming the corpus luteum. Corpus luteum. For example, children, follicles, first it will be developing inside the egg. Here the secondary oocyte will be there, primary follicle, later by the influence of FSH, secondary follicle, later tertiary follicle, and later by this Graafian follicle, Graafian follicle. At the till this the FSH will be say FSH secretion will be more, and due to the secretion of LH, this Graafian follicle breaks and releases the egg. This process we say it as ovulation, and this empty Graafian follicle becomes a corpus luteum. So all these functions are aided by this LH. So next we are going to see the functions of the prolactin. Prolactin, it is secreted only in the female children. The other name, in short, we can write prolactin as PRL. It is also called as lactogenic hormone. Lactogenic hormone, and it is responsible for secretion of milk after the childbirth. Right? After the childbirth, this prolactin in pregnant ladies, it stimulates the growth of the mammalian follicles, and later after childbirth it helps in the secretion of milk. So till now we discussed about the hormones of anterior pituitary, and now we are going to discuss about the hormones of posterior pituitary. The hormones of posterior pituitary, there are two hormones, children. One is oxytocin and another one is vasopressin. This oxytocin, we say it as rapid birth hormone. Rapid birth hormone. What is the function of this oxytocin? Oxytocin is secreted at the time of delivery. When the child is fully developed, this oxytocin helps in the contraction of the uterus muscles. Helps in the contraction. If this fetus is here, right? It helps in the contraction of the uterus muscles and helps in the ejection of the child. So oxytocin is said to be the rapid birth hormone, and it is also responsible for ejection of milk. Next we are going to see the function of vasopressin. What is the other name of vasopressin, children? Yes, we discussed ADH. This vasopressin helps in the reabsorption of water in the kidney tubules. In the kidney there are many nephrons, right? In the tubules is there. So it helps in the absorption of water. So it prevents the excess secretion of urine. Right, hence it is known as antidiuretic hormone. What happens if this hormone is less? If this hormone is less, it causes a disorder called diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus, that is excess secretion of urine, right? The person with diabetes insipidus suffers from polyuria, that is excess secretion of urine, and polyphagia, polydipsia, that is excess intake of water. So the disorder of vasopressin causes diabetes insipidus. So children, let us recap what are all the things we studied. We discussed about what are all the endocrine glands present in the human beings, and in this session we discussed about the hormones of pituitary. Hormones of pituitary, in that two pituitary is there, right? One is the anterior and another one is posterior. Anterior pituitary is otherwise called as adenohypophysis, and we discussed what are all the hormones of anterior pituitary, and later we discussed about the hormones of posterior pituitary. Posterior pituitary is otherwise called as neurohypophysis, and only two hormones are secreted by this, that is oxytocin and vasopressin. So this is the assessment given related to this topic, children. Just go through it. With this session comes to an end. In the description we have attached a study material, assessment and question bank for this lesson children. Go through it and make sure how far you understood the topic. Thank you children. Have a nice day.